stage of that game where we were like, enemy doesn't have complete control of this map.
Very, very true, and it's against one of the better teams in the league, Legion of Carrots, so or at least mid-road. So very, very interesting to see that come out from enemy. What did they eat this week? What's in the water?
For me, it's always been 1, 2, 3 in North America are tied.
Sure.
4, 5, 6 in North America are tied, and then 7 or 8 are pretty close, with COG having a slight advantage. So it's hard for me to say that Legion is the 6th best or the 4th best.
I mean, feel you on that.
Stats will speak for themselves, sure, but I definitely don't think there's a great skill disparity. So to see enemy playing up this well to Legion of Carrots shows a lot of signs from the bottom seeds. It should make for a very interesting split 3.
Another Odin ban again, targeted towards Legion of Carrots. Very, very specific. We talked a little bit about DJ Pernica's style of play, why that Odin is going to be very, very strong. For that, and we're going to see Jerby's Poseidon banned out by Legion of Carrots. Legion of Carrots.
Look at this. 2 shots at Jerby. Sylvanas on the table again. Are they going to grab it? I mean, how could they not for how well it worked?
Yeah, there it is. It's going to be Sylvanas going for the grabs on enemy. Chris Pocket really showing that he can play this character well.
Option to Legion of Carrots. I'm expecting a different strategy going in to this one. They stick with the Geb.
Serket, first pick. DJ Pernicus going to be playing the Egyptian Assassin. Now, watch right there. There you go. Aduro played this character very,
Where was it
very
last
well.
time? His Isis, when we saw his Isis.
Aduro's Isis is very strong.
It was good. Was it Kiki?
Isis.
Was it Mace?
I think it's very, very strong.
It was good. However, his Alpwash is unreal.
Yes. His Alpwash definitely a little stronger than most players' Alpwatches. It is the newest god allowed in our SPL games. So very, very small amount of time.
Wheelish is the newest god that's played in the SPL game.
I thought it was the opposite way. Are you punking?
Yeah, man. Dude, she's old. Just no one played her up until like this week.
That's very true.
Because Andon Sir was streaming. He was, look what I can do.
Poke, flip.
Jerby going to switch to Isis. The only other game from Jerby we've seen the split, besides the Poseidon game from the last one, was the last time we saw him play Isis. He had an insane amount of plays. Great spear balls, great silences, normal wing gusts, but the circle of protections were incredible. Couple that with a Wheelish hitting Feather Step for 750 million damage for absolutely no reason, things are going to look good.
This draft looking strong for enemy. Really no identity to it, so to speak. You've got an Isis for objective control. A Wheelish is going to be very mobile around the map and sort of do what you can in the assassination department. Sylvanas an all-around setup man, so nothing really super identifiable or identity claiming right there. And on the top side, Legion of Carrots, Serket, Apwach, Geb. I just see a lot of damage late game from the first 2 gods.
Option back to Legion of Carrots. They're still looking for what looks like a Hunter.
There it is.
And it's going to be Apollo, and of course their solo laner for the counter pick. Again, not Plaid Girl, Plaid Boy, or Well Plaid, whatever you want to call him, is a sub of words as weapons. So will be a little bit weaker than normal in the solo lane as well, as we saw in the last game. Rama going to be locked in. No Shibalanke this time.
Shibalanke banned out by Legion. A little scared.
I mean, they should be.
He went
got a
6-0.
quadra kill.
Yeah.
Make him play something else.
Yeah, pretty much. Vishium got the 4. And we're going to see Tier again picked up by enemy. Also, Max, as I said, watch this player sort of become the SPL, grow up through the Challenger Cup. Just been playing Tier forever.
I wonder what the discussion was to not pick Alquang this game.
For the jungler?
Right.
There's something different.
Right, I'm saying, like, what was saying, like, hey, do we want to run this only with Poseidon? Do we want to run this specifically with this character? Do we only want to do it here? Or was it just like, you did really well, now play Wheelix?
Yeah, sure. Looking at the characters that are different here, we see a Poseidon and a Shibalanke being replaced by Isis and Ram. Neither of those characters really set anything up. So for me, I think this is just a feel. We take it. Ram doesn't have a knockup necessarily, neither does Isis, so not that a Wheelish is going to work well with them.
Well, for me, a Wheelish is a character that has to be very, very aggressive. And while so does Alquang, Alquang has one of the top 10 escapes in the game.
Sure.
Instantaneous stealth teleport, as opposed to a Wheelix who has great movement, but she has already be on Suku. If she uses it as an initiate, Flyan's weakness as a player has always been overcommitting to fights he doesn't belong in.
Okay.
Without that instantaneous teleport, I think it's going to be a much different play this time.
Also, the Max walks right past the enemy solo laner. And they're going to let him hang. No problem.
We're going to have
they're going to back next to each other.
Uh-oh. No, he's not. We're going to have about 11 minutes here of Amana. right? Words' Weapons has about 11 to 12 minutes of a mana before he's going to know whether or not this game is over.
Sure.
Also, for Mana Serket, not a huge follow-up. Decent damage.
Really, yeah.
If Serket kicks him, he can do the knock-up canceled immediately into auto-attack canceled into the Armored Umbrella for a lot of damage. If he doesn't land the combo perfectly, I mean, the Tier's basically just going to be like, see ya! I have 80 escapes.
There's a lot of burst potential coming out from the Vamana, but I don't think this is a character that Tier is really going to look to kill early on or later on. Once you have that ultimate, Tier... once you have the Vamana ultimate, it's really tough for Tier to do what Tier does against.
So going to be splitting hairs here again as we're going to see if they can do it absolutely perfectly. And Lord knows they're trying. Great rotation so far. Chris Pocket going to be giving this one away to Jerby. And yeah, that was almost as perfect as was going to get. He's going to be beaten to lane, though. Outwash way too quick on the draw, especially considering they didn't do the triple camp.
Legion of Carrots from the backside, looking for the purple buff. They're going to go ahead and have a target. Apollo picks it up instead of the Rom.
Bishop slowed.
Vicium has nowhere to go, but great screen coming out from the tree. The body block is going to prevent the basics from killing the Hunter.
And then the 25% RNG dice roll says a fatal. Nice attempt here, buddy, but me and Crits, we hang out.
RNGG.
Oh, man. So, diving in here, still level 1. Vicium, beautiful stop there.
Very... just on the point.
Chris Pocket's got to be. That's the second time that he has saved Vicium in, I think it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Chris Pocket has been playing the support role for a long time.
Have you ever seen that gif of the guy with the deer in the pool?
Yes.
Right? And it's like ADC and danger is the pool, and he takes it and brings it out and just dives right back in. That's Vicium right now. He's the deer.
That used to be. That was based on a true story. Old data toss. Zatman and Shadow Q Lane, really the exemplary example of that one. But so Chris Pocket is a character that has really taken his time to come to this level and play to the top of his abilities, and I think we're seeing a different Chris Pocket right now.
Blind or not, going to spot out them going for the purple buff. It's a possibility they could try to steal it away, but if they commit to that, they're not getting into the mid lane safely. Serket also trying to keep them away as Aduro moves back forward. Now, we're going to look at the Opwash pick here, and this is interesting because if anybody gets healed by Chris Pocket and they get hit by Fleeting Breath, they're going to die.
Well, of course, Opwash is the dot that Opwash applies to the character. Once you get healed, it doesn't happen immediately. At the end of the dot, you'll get a stun, and you'll take some additional damage from this character.
For every tick of healing that you take from abilities. So it could stun you up to 3 seconds. I think it'll be 2.5 max, unless they also get hit by the Circle of Protection.
Vicium, very, very low. Really only has...
Load. Taking some damage here that he can't really afford.
These players are forgetting that they don't have, or they're not forgetting necessarily, but it's a different playstyle without a Death Toll building directly into... Normally we see Death Toll Devo Gloves. It's a lot of lifesteal or health return, comparatively speaking, to level 2 Transcendence.
Big Camp's coming up. Full rotation here from both players. Left side already taken. Too slow in the draws. Enemy chooses to go for the back line. They're going to face off in mid lane as Aduro's trying to aim his way over towards the right side. Pernicus keeping things honest. Right camps look like they're going to red as well.
Enemy, this time around, not being able to get the dominance just because Legion is bringing the numbers factor. They're bringing a hard rotate of 3 players here to both mid camps, making sure that if enemy wants to engage, they're going to have to fully commit. And with the Sylvanas only level 4, there's no Wrath of Terra to set up a wheelish pull or anything else for the team.
I really like the Isis pick as well into Opwash, but considering we just hit level 5, right? Aduro's now level 6.
Sure.
You got to remember Wingust slow immunity, which is huge against the ultimate. It's not going to allow him to initiate all that well, but damn can he escape for free.
And one of the things Opwash does in lane a lot is try to get the poke as well as the wave damage with the corpse throw, which is a slow. And being able to be slow immune during that Wingust is going to be a huge tool for Jerby to avoid a lot of that burst.
Can we actually hover on corpse throw here for Aduro? Now this move is pretty intense. Oh, he went back to the base. He tricked you, production. He completely bodied you. 40% slow.
too long
at
didn't read.
every single level, guys. And remember, it's going to drop 2 corpses at level 4. So this is going to increase how much damage his 2 does, which is Corpse Explosion. A lot of combo potential from the god. And I mean, that doesn't... For those of you who haven't seen this god before, just wait until you see this ultimate.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage over a large area. Empty the Crypts is going to be a huge lane-wide AoE, not an exaggeration. The trade-off, of course, is that he is highly susceptible to ganks if he's got nothing up. Sort of like Hebo. Right. So there's a huge damage potential, huge control potential, but in theory, and I stress in theory, very easy to gank.
By the way, you know, I was just discussing this off-stream the other day.
Which?
About... You know how Habwa's not very good is even the casters stop calling him Habwa. We're just like, he's Hebo again until someone plays him in the pro league.
Yeah, you need the level of respect for us to say your name right. That's why, as we finally have her being played in the SPL, it's now a Wheelish.
Yeah, she's Wheelish.
Back when it was Cuvo thinking about playing her, it was a Wheelix.
Yeah.
Now we see more and more players, so we're going to do it over the correct pronunciation.
Andy globaled a few people last week. We're like, a Wheelish. Yes, she's the Mayan god of the moon.
Very afraid of her. Buffs picked up by Legion. They're going to rotate into the mid, blind and all by himself, but we'll sniff out the any attempts of aggression, which right there, Legion would have taken it if Flying was up where he was, but they're not going to go rush for anything.
You know, what's crazy is we're not seeing Flying go for these crazy ganks, and strangely, Vamana, one of the easiest people for him to gank if Vamana isn't willing or uses his ult late.
Sure.
Specifically because Clear the Path is a very obvious ability. It has to run in a very sharp line that is not an ability you can use for like these hot jukes, right? Mm-hmm. So she guarantees herself the gravity surge on the application if she is, I guess, present enough. Speaking of presence, Jerby backing off here. Not going to fight for this with the team?
Not quite. Ultimate coming out from Chris Pocket, which will allow the grab out of the air from a Wheelish. Apollo lands down in the middle of the Crypts. Chris Pocket is just going to fall.
Where was Jerby? Maybe he thought one was enough.
Not quite. All by himself is off to the max as he made the rotation for the left-hand mid-camps. Legion of Carrots is there with the rest of their team, though. So it's going to be a single tier, shedding a lot more tears as he gets smashed by a Duro.
Yeah, he tried to rotate in again. Jerby, full health ultimate, not even making the attempt to rotate. Very, very large drop-off from what we saw with the Krakens. He was cracking and everything last game. He's like, I'll fight 3 of you, I don't care. And now he's like, we're going to fight for mid-camps. Hey, guys, you guys got this.
I'm sitting here, sorry for the moment of delay. I'm also trying to figure out what could have been the thought process from the mid laner looking towards back camps, maybe clearly not as important than mids.
Usually when we're at LAN, it's so easy because we can cut to player comms and find out exactly what they're thinking. But here it's all estimations and assumptions, and it's hard to get into that mindset. But Jerby's just looks like he's playing a little bit scared, and Aduro recognizes it, and he's playing more aggressively. But now, okay, Jerby makes the rotation. Ooh. Oh, that hurts.
I like the full commit though to they're trusting their support right here. The full commit for the mid laner being pulled out. We're expecting this pull to land, and we're gonna hurt you. And that right there, that's sort of the, not apology, but that's Jeremy saying, yes, I'm present in this game. At the end of the day, it could have just been a mistake, Brandon. That's how you sort of get back mentally in it, both yourself and your teammates. You make a play like that. You trust your teammates like that. So I like to see that's a checkup. Jeremy's letting us know he's still here, and he's ready to make team plays with the rest of them. Vicium, 1v2 in this lane as the support is rotated. He sniffs out a little bit more. Up in the air is Ron. That's going to solidify the fact that he's stuck here. DJ Pernicus with the shield. He's going to try and... Oh. I thought he was going to go for the Cobra Kiss, but they knew that we'd have 2 people wind up here on this side of the map. But Wheelish, Sylvanas, Jerby's Isis, and the Hunter.
So Flying Anoa jumps in with Suka there just in an attempt to try to find someone with the gravity surge. Unfortunately, we'll actually waste the cooldown, but enemy has a chance here. Right side, Words' Weapons continues to push the tower. Backline, awesome to the max, looking for the pull. Painting Beyond in a lot of trouble here, taking a lot of damage, gets knocked up and flying with a beautiful play. But the Opwash ult is used a little bit late to save and a little bit too early to aggress. And with Pain down, enemy should be able to get this one, especially considering Fatal is just flat out out of mana.
With the Upwash ult down, that Upwash ultimate is going to be a huge tool to walk away from the objectives, and enemy able to pick it up no problem. Also to the max, might fall for it, and he does. DJ Pernicus is going to pick up the 3rd kill for his team. But at this point in the game, 9 minutes in, folks, trading one for the goals here, I think, is going to be a win for enemy.
Well, they had to. If they didn't send Awesome to the back line there to sacrifice himself, there would have been absolutely no way that they would have gotten that goal for you. They almost died for it. Pernicus does not have an ult here, aggressing into a situation where he does not have control. Ambush will be used. Words his weapons rotating, the last of his mana used for clear the path, and Flying or Nah getting tagged will not be able to send the Gravity Surge out as a counter. With that, left side camps looks like they're getting taken here. Chris Pocket really doesn't have a line to get in. Shockwave controlling too much space.
Kev sort of waiting and baiting, and Cataclysm will miss. It looked like Legion of Carrots was holding on to those mid camps, waiting for somebody to respond.
Over towards the right side, camps respond as well. Pain and Flying should have no trouble picking up these ones. Worst's weapons way too low. Yeah, not sure why Pain watched them do that. There's stuff to do. Both teams playing very nervously this game, which is surprising for either side because there's literally nothing to lose here.
Well, enemy won that last match really, really strongly, and they say you do well when, and you know, I don't, not even just the Royal. They, coming from you and I, we have been like in the spotlight before. You perform well when you don't think about it. We have 0 wins. You're not necessarily thinking about going for the win or, you know, what can we do. You just come out, and as you start dominating, you just continue to dominate. Now they have 1 win. They might be thinking about it a little bit, Brandon. Might be getting in their own heads.
Medium going back to the lane here. Now, he did get his own purple off the invasion from Pain, but he took a lot of damage for it. And while it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, it's going to force Chris Pocket to come over. He doesn't have lifesteal, correct? On top of the fact that he just got back from the base. So there's also a death toll on the other side with a lot of lifesteal for Apollo.
The patience from DJ Pernicus. He's going to wait in this little hovel.
Patience is only a virtue for a certain amount of time in this game before you start just flat out losing farm.
Sure.
And he's even with Flying or
the
Nah,
rotation.
who spots
him.
him.
Is here as well. But the blink from Geb is going to be good enough to isolate the support by himself. Little zigzag from the Circuit. Fatal will get the kill onto Chris Pocket. The poison is out. Ram's in the air. Will he be able to land the shots? One more. Not even looking for the kill. Instead gets the DPS out onto Vicium. And with the rotation from Aplach, enemy has to be very careful. Ram has dashed into a bad position. Slowed. Damage. Toasted. DJ Pernicus gets another kill.
See, normally you wouldn't need an ultimate to secure that kill, but that ultimate was also to say Flying or Nah, don't come back in.
It's a deterrent, exactly.
We could probably kill you, but you could also feather step us for 800,000 damage and kill us when we don't know it, right? So just you stay away, we'll take the kill, and Legion of Carrots with that finds themselves 5-1, the only death being on the support right now. They're in the best position that they could hope for. Only difference, enemy, of course, taking the first goal Fury, making sure that they stay relevant in the gold lead. But let's take a look at the graphs here. The experience is what's going to tell you the story, and that's 2,200 in favor right now of Legion.
Yeah, the gold is really tied, Brandon. So as we sort of postulate what that could mean for these teams, Legion of Carrots able to grab more experience where it's possible. That's the 5-1 kills, essentially. Enemy's been doing a little cleaner job on the farm. And right now, enemy putting themselves in a bad position. Flying or Nah loses about 80% of his HP. That initial burst from Legion's jungle mid lane combination.
I wouldn't say lucky, but I'm definitely thankful right there that DJ Pernicus didn't have last breath available, because it would have been his last breath. Pernicus straight up just comboed him right down. Has that Jotun's online already. Next up, probably going to look at crit, although we have seen people deviate and build Wingblade, which I'm such a big fan of. God,
a lot of stats.
All the stats for 1850. Get every stats.
Hey, you want some health, CDR, even attack speed.
Movement speed. Hey.
Just keep going, man. No slows?
Yeah, immunity to slows.
Double Fearless coming out from Awesome the Max, pushing people up against the wall. The ultimate Wrath of Terra and the great combo. Grabbing him out of the air is a Wheelish. Whereas his weapons already gets the kill. There's 2 members from enemy very, very low. The Crips and the Vamana push enemy out of the way. But the flip from Awesome the Max is getting aggressive. Fatal gets a kill on the backside with Pain to Beyond, but Awesome surrounded by members of the enemy team. He's got a power cleave to heal himself up, but he's still all alone, and 3 members of his team is dead. The only one still alive is Vicium, and DJ Pernic is doing work against him.
I just have no idea what Flyden was thinking when he jumped back into 4 people with literally 100 health. Pain to Beyond just turned around and goes, "What are you doing? Shockwave!" and just like crushes him. It sends him back to the base, and a Wheelish is not a character you can fall behind on. she has one of the worst endgame potential pokes, period.
Right.
It's almost impossible for her to get a team fight started from behind. And you can see there, even with enemy getting what was one of the best initiates I think we've ever seen. They get perfect combo off the Spirit Ball to Chris Pocket's Blink in. Beautiful knock with the Wrath of Terra. And then she jumps over the wall, rips someone out of the air, hit him with the Feather Step, but it just wasn't enough damage to pick off anybody.
And with that, Legion is going to go ahead
Don't
and
heal yourself.
grab the
Oh,
objective.
come on. Well, let's watch Chris Pocket get stunned. Come on.
Jeremy taking about half of his HP as the zoners from Legion become disruptors and assassins. Jeremy forced out of the fight 10% or less. Still poisoned. Or that's okay.
Jerby coming back in here unsafely, but no one is around, so perhaps the team has communicated that. He knows that he can get this farm without any risk. And it's smart of him to tank this up, because while it's not going to kill him, he doesn't want people who just got back or who have full health to be able to waste their health when he's just going to go heal himself up in a minute anyway. So smart play there.
Damage coming out from the enemy hunter.
Rama's
Putting
getting
the damage. Good ultimate coming out from Chris Pocket, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Just bringing Fatal down to half HP.
Was that Wrath of Terra?
It was. We do have a Wheelish here.
Very curious use of the ult there. Not going to have it for this initiation. Pain of Yon not only has a lot of health, but beautiful counterplay here. Oh, in the back line. Awesome. No, misses the Fearless.
Mez out from the end of the Fearless as well, and he's going to take a couple of tower shots for his trouble. Slowed by the Apwash.
1,000 health there is what he took.
40% slow.
Yeah, oh my god.
3 tower shots that shouldn't have happened. Well, without the slow, wouldn't have happened. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, though, right?
Healed again. Words his weapons, trying to drive to the back line. Pain of Yon chasing down Jerby once again, who's still sitting pretty.
There it is.
Shockwave, yeah, going down.
Blink, Cataclysm, you're going nowhere. Fatal says so as well. He goes ahead, grabs, takes credit for that one. Jerby going to sit out for 30-plus seconds. There's 4 members of enemy right here trying to mount a defense against this Legion push in the left-hand side.
Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Flyin cannot provide any damage into this fight. He has 0 poke. He can't get to the back line safely at level 12, and they know it. Check out Legion of Carrots. Not only sending 2 back there, but just shoving down everything. Aduro leading the front line, trying to catch that fleeting breath again onto a healed target. They're going to push in. That's a 2,000 gold win if they can take this tower.
Blink is not going to be good enough to combo with the Fearless of the Power Cleave. Instead, also the max grabs of Amana, who's a very tanky target, forced into the ultimate and eventually not really going to do much, but the aggression is enough to push Legion off of enemy's tier 2 long lane tower, and the dual lane stays alive.
All the while, DJ Pernicus farming up as much as possible, pushes 2 waves into the mid tower, doesn't quite take it, but gets a lot of experience wasted. Takes both sets of mid camps as well, starts separating himself. He's 2-0-4 right now, and the lead's starting to show. Should be a little bit higher considering the fact that Fly and Gnaw has not seen a lot of success this game, but overall, Legion with a huge win there. 500 from the tower, 1,500 with the Gold Fury. A few kills, going to spike the lead back down in their favor to 3,000.
Jungle clearing now coming out from Legion, sort of, or enemy rather, and Legion. Right now is sort of the hurry up and wait. We're going to see both teams clear their jungles and get the easy experience before going on to the harder stuff that is a team fight or a fire giant even, as we're sort of 18 minutes into this contest. So both teams really looking for the next big window.
Watching Awesome to the max here. Trying to find wards as weapons on the rotation. Enough wards to spot him out, just in case. Right side. We're in the slap fight phase. Bamana has gotten through the danger zone and put himself to be in maybe not carry potential, but he can definitely hold his own, as you see at 1-0-4.
That's what we saw on the left-hand side. Ultimate is onto Jeremy. He's got beads, so he can move, and he might survive.
Yeah, he's gonna get out of that one just barely.
Yeah.
DJ Pernicus unable to find the auto attack thanks to the great counter initiate by Chris Pocket. Really playing babysitter this game.
Yeah, Chris Pocket stepping up and protecting his teammates. We've seen a number of roots to prevent just peels in general, as well as body blocks, really doing everything that a support needs to do. And Jerby using those beads. So the beads are obviously not going to stop any of the damage from the last breath, but by using that beads, he prevents being thrown in the wrong direction. And that allows him to just walks away, and that's ultimately what saved his life.
Right side speed buff going to be taken here. 3-man split. Blinder Naw's got to utilize this movement speed increase to get that farm back that he's missing. He does have a level disadvantage and a gold disadvantage, although it doesn't really speak to DJ Pernicus' slash line. With 204, you would expect about 1,000 gold, maybe even more. Instead, somehow a 0-1-1 of Wheelish is keeping within 300.
DJ Pernicus, we've seen him sort of wait a lot for these kills. So these kills have been high impact, but it's taken a while for them to set up. Because of those kills, though, the separation for him personally might be low, but as I said, they've been high impact, Brandon. The kills that he has gotten, the assists that Serket has been a part of, have opened these objective windows for Legion of Karens.
Trying to pressure in once again. It's still a rather large grouping from the red team and the blue team in the mid lane. A lot of presence here. Gold Fury going to be respawning in a few seconds as they take the right camps. They don't want to use the Hand of the Gods here. They want to save it for the Gold Fury herself. And look at this. I love this. Fatal locking down VDM in this lane so he can't rotate safely. We'll be able to use Apollo's ult to counter-initiate if necessary. Painavion rotating down to help out in the boxing match. VDM going back to the base there. Fly in. No. Mezzed out. Fatal dashing away. Saving despite the 3-level disadvantage there. He could have taken a lot of his health very quickly.
Fatal has been on point with these mezzes. We've seen him mezz Fearless's mid-charge, just surprising and mezzing them so he can walk away. Really, really quick finger on that mesmerize coming out from the Apollo.
No heal there that time. Awesome to the max, just going to take a lot of his health. Could be in some trouble. They're going to start this up. VDM working his way back. Duro trying to fight fight them off as well, as you're going to see Chris Pocket fight his way through. Painavion not entitled to this completely. In fact, Chris Pocket has a really good line to this. They force the reset.
Legion completely lets go. 5-man Wrath of Terror is going to be good from the Sylvanas, but nobody's near to make it worth anything.
That's trouble.
Serket's going to go ahead and grab onto Awesome to the max, spread the damage a little bit if I'm not mistaken.
I think it missed. I think it missed.
Vicium does pick up one in the air, though.
Yeah, look at this. They have a 1-for-1 right now, which is pretty good. But given the fact that Serket had already used everything, it's not this like gigantic win for enemy just yet. Blinder Naw's got to get back to the base. I don't know why he's doing back camps.
The zoning from Opwatch is incredible. You can cover so much area if you drop those corpses in the right spot, which Aduro is doing. 2 members obviously in the front, but look at the backside.
Chris Pocket has no blink here. It's going to be all down to how much damage the Isis can do. Legion of Karens still steal. Painavion able to escape, and they're trying to turn it around here. Both teams really overcommitting to a fight neither of them has claimed to. It's turning into risk versus reward. Jerby, though, going very deep for kills. Corpse explosion doing a lot. They're trying for the purple. Aduro's not going to let it happen.
Well, he does.
Yeah, well, he didn't let it.
Purple.
They still get it.
He didn't allow it, but he let it happen. It's just not allowed. Derby finds himself in the middle with 2 members of his team for support, and Flyer not looking at the tower, or at least thinking about it, but Apwatch again just showing up and, well, scaring the Crips out of people.
We said it right in the beginning. It all comes down to the Wheelish pick. Ao Kwang was open. It had a huge amount of pressure in the first game. Early kills, early sustain, making sure he's baiting out ultimates. Wheelish has had one good play so far, and it still resulted in her death.
Yeah, wasn't quite enough. And man, I like the Wheelish character in general. With the amount of success that came out from the Ao Kwang last match, why not?
So taking a look at Jerb here, the Divine Ruin is there for the baby, right? He's got also some healing against Aduro as well. Aside from that, there's really not too much. So he's got to be very careful about where he's throwing on spells. Usually Isis is kind of like, you know, the metalhead. She starts throwing fists everywhere, right? Just going to throw damage out and hope it hits somebody. You wake up with a few bruises, you had a good night.
Windmilling.
Right, exactly. That's what she does. She's a windmill
change.
machine. Also, we need a metalhead. Her skin now. It's really important. But Jerb can't do that now. He must invest his damage into the targets that the healing reduction will take the most effect on. Most notably, Words' weapons and Aduro.
Meanwhile, Jerby's all by himself in the mid lane. You don't fly it or not here, but we've pointed out how low the Wheelish is repeatedly. Chris Pocket going to be initiated on, but over the wall is going to be Awesome to the max, pushing the enemy literally out of the way. There's an Apwatch ult to deter anyone from getting close, and in the middle of the corpses, Legion of Karens takes out the tier 1 in the mid lane.
Well, they're still going. Aduro smartly turns around before the gravity surge. Counter initiate coming. They're looking for it. Aduro scheduled to fall. Blind or nah, trying to find something in the back line here, and he will. We're going to see Fatal and Words' weapons turn their sights to Jerby.
Well, those two times the Wheelish has definitely made the impact right now as we approach the mid-game. Blink from Awesome to the Max is going to be avoided by the Apollo. This character should go down, and it's from Vicium all the way from the mid lane, launching those Rob ultimates.
So right there, Words' weapons. He dives into the front line, gets tagged by the Divine Ruin, and instead of using to clear the path and let it wear off, he immediately pops the giant baby ult, and unfortunately for him, wastes a lot of the scheduled healing that he was gonna gain.
It's very tough to see that when you get hit by Divine Ruin, you just get the debuff in your screen. You don't turn the color purple. So it's very, very strange. A little option select right here. Enemy's just going to turn around. Instead of looking at the objective, they're going to look at the person who's going to steal the objective. Pain to Beyond immediately just deletes the support player off of the map.
Well, they're going to pick up another kill, but no Fire Giant for now. Enemy showing some signs of life, though. Let's jump back to the graphs and see how things are shaping up. Experience difference back down to about 3,000, but we were way closer to 10 at one point. So that's a huge win for Enemy.
Enemy, I mean, just turn off the numbers. Look at the direction. The graph just goes right up from what looks like a big valley. So Enemy really turning it around right there. Beautiful, beautiful following of the cursor, like a Disney follow sing-along. This is where they fell. This is where they gained. And with that was a great team fight. And so Wheelish, we're taking a look at her. The Boots, the Jotuns, the Executioner, the Titan's Bane. I mean, this sort of power curve that we saw in the last team fight, it's not like character where Naja got a Deathbringer, he's good, right? Deathbringer, watch out. Where is the on button for a Wheelish?
Well, she's looking for the knock-up. She gets the pull in, right? And off the gravity surge, she's looking for auto attack.
Right.
Auto attack cancel directly into Feather Step, applying 2 sets of that Executioner penetration with the Titan's Bane, as well as getting the big hit of the Feather Step off of the damage and stun coming out from the gravity surge and in each combo. I mean, that's what they really need. Really need.
It was about the Executioner from what
He's got to take to the sky.
And
He's
right
got to
now,
go
Vicium about to be executed. 3 members here. Even if he takes to the sky brand, it's just a pause button. Fatal
Which
gets
would have
the
been
kill.
enough.
Well, you've got Enemy responding here, but they're being messed around with by a Watch.
Oh, man.
The response team was being responded to.
That's trouble. Without that recon fire that Rama has been providing in the fights from the sky, it's... I'm sorry, did DJ Pernicus ult it a creep?
I like that.
Did he ult it, kill it, and blow up? I didn't see it.
He tried.
Or did he just miss?
No, he tried to ult it, kill it, and blow it up.
I like that.
I
like
love
that
that
idea.
That's one of my...
We saw it one time in Split 1.
It's up there with Heart Bomb Kumbhakarna flick.
That never happens.
It's so cool, though. There's that Feather Step. Going to do a bunch of damage coupled with the rest of his team.
This is the
Pain
Upwash
to Beyond going to get smacked in the face. Upwash ult in the middle of the jungle forces everyone out. DJ picks up one with a Duro.
336 on the screen. He's death baiting through the damage. Awesome to the max. In a lot of trouble here. Forced to ult.
Love it.
Place and back into Fearless. Red stance, looking for the big play. No, going to be forced away here.
Beautiful play by Chris Pocket to stop Legion in their tracks. It's going to be enough. It's going to be enough to let Awesome to the Max escape.
But that Gold Fury's still gone.
It's there. Chris Pocket, take a look at his actives. Blink is down forever.
But that 20% chance to crit, DJ Pernicus turning around and just taking down a huge kill. Awesome to the max. I don't know, trying to make the play here. He's looking for it, gets the Fearless, but runs out of mana. No more chance to combo. Recon fire not going to be good enough towards the end of the fight. Medium trying to roll away here. Going to be chased down. Panavion jumping in front for the screen.
Great pull.
Picking him right back up.
We're going to need to see a root from the tree, and it's not going to happen. Fatal picks up another kill for himself. Also, the Max will be safe and sound. Going to go ahead and back, and Legion of Carrots immediately turn from one to the other. Gold Fury already all but forgotten as Fire Giant has started.
So here's the trouble, Clumsy. Let's take a look at time spent dead. This is, for me, the worst part, because you know Rama's going to be on top. All of his deaths have been towards the later stages of the game, meaning just 3 deaths going to keep him dead for... Oh, DJ Pernicus! The answer to that question is nah. Not flying.
Not flying. Not flying today. Jerby not even thinking about coming to the airport, let alone fly. He's going to stay in the lane on the right-hand side by himself. And, well, Legion, they're going to take that belt of the Fire Giant, and they're going to walk right to Gold Fury. This is, I mean, I don't want to even call this an option select. They're just going to fight it, and they're going to take it. And if anybody from enemy decides to show up, they're going to take them too.
I mean, that was just free. Straight up,
yeah.
Free gold. Let's take a look at gold in hand, if you don't mind here. 2,300 for Apollo, 22 for Opwash here. Everybody over 1,000.
Well,
and they just want to fight, and then they gained 10,000 in hand. Let's look at the builds. Where is it getting spent? Everybody back
Rage
here.
Completed for the Apollo is going to be a very big step in the correct direction. And as we see, look what Vermont is building. He's building setup. He has the Witchblade to slow the attack speed on the enemy side. Right. And he also has the Heavy Hammer to slow the actual person on enemy. So
those don't stack, though.
No.
The attack speed don't stack.
The attack speed slow doesn't stack. You have the attack speed slow for the Witchblade and the physical slow.
I'm not excited about that.
Fast.
Those don't stack. That drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, Witchblade doesn't apply slow.
Right, that's true, which is why he should have built Midgardian Mail instead of the Witchblade. Granted, the power is going to be pretty good to decrease, considering that Awesome and Flyer and the ones really putting the damage up.
Right.
But they don't stack.
So a little bit of stat inefficiency right there coming out, but the mentality...
It's not the worst. It's like going 45% CDR.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
the
not killing
mentality
yourself.
right here... The mentality right here is to slow the enemy players down so that Legion can kill them, and at the same time reduce the amount of output coming out. Because the Witchblade also provides some sort of other positive stats for the user. Physical protection being the number one. Initiate, good hand, not pushing the trigger for pain.
They're going to take another 1,500 gold. They probably won't even get to use it if they can get a good play here.
That was huge that Pain didn't use his ultimate right there under the tower. He blinked in, noticed he wasn't going to grab a whole bunch, and didn't use the Cataclysm, which means next engagement, you'll have that group stun. Very big minor play, which will be major.
Jerby was trying to stun out Pain de Beyond, gets Shockwave so he can't detonate it, and it winds up going full length and hitting Pernicus for full damage.
Wrath of Terror with the counter initiation on the side of enemy. It's going to knock people up, push them out, but Legion is still here. They have the sustain from the Fire Giant buff. They have DJ creeping in the jungle on the left-hand side. They're ready to take this, whether it's head-on or as a pincer.
Well, they can go right in now. The blink you talked about last time's back off cooldown. Gonna find 3, force the beads off of Jerby, and we're gonna see Words go right into the ultimate and start laying waste to the back line. 1,500 gold gonna be added again as another tier 2 falls.
Words' weapons pops the ultimate just enough to say walk away, provide spacing for his team to pick up that tier 2 without any problems whatsoever.
Trying to fight their way over towards the right side. They're going to take down all the towers before extending their push into the Phoenix. They got about 54 seconds left on Fire Giant, and they got to use it well. That should be enough for them to siege down this Phoenix if they decide to go for it. But with how many towers they've just taken, I imagine the Golden Hand's looking pretty cute right now.
Right now, Legion of Carrots have made the Fire Giant kill worth it. They cleared out all structures here, with the exception of that tier 2. No, it is
not. Got them all.
It just looks weird on the map. But so taking out all structures, sans the Phoenix is right here. They can go for it, but it's worth it without it.
Well, I mean, Upwash can just ult, right, and then they can just run in and do it. That's what they should do. They just
and there it is. That's exactly what they're going to look for.
Just take it. They don't want to do more than this. They can't win right now. Fire Giant's coming up in 1:15. This is the perfect opportunity for them to go back, spend the money, reinitiate, and take all the vision control on the right side. This will give them the health control because they're going to be higher scaling. It's going to give them sustained control despite the fact that they don't have that Sylvanas. Most of them are going to have enough lifesteal or control with health, things like the baby ult, Aduro being able to heal with his corpse throw. They're going to be able to massively take the damage control. And given the fact that Jerby's 17 right now, they don't have a front line for the mage.
That's why Fire Giant is going to be very an integral part of this Legion lineup as they go ahead into the later game. With this enemy team, you see the Chris Pocket Sylvanas pick and a lot of the healing on the other side. It's not as important, honestly, for enemy as far as the sustain is concerned. But for Legion, if they want to be able to initiate more than once, they're going to need that Fire Giant around their waists if they want to make any sort of double push happen.
Aduro on the left side, 19 seconds until Fire Giant spawns, getting that red buff and strangely backing. So they're not going to have complete control over the spawn itself. Looking in the inventories, Fatal, Words' weapons, Pernicus, Aduro, all with sentries right away. Words already placing his down, Pain as well. And I love this sentry ward on this side.
Oh, right behind the rock?
Right, because Chris Pocket knows if they place something there, they'll have control to gain it. Also, great route right there to take the Magi's off. But remember, this is not PTS. The Magi still has a rather short cooldown.
push from Awesome to the Max. Gonna go ahead and just barely do damage towards his weapons.
He takes a lot in return.
And right there from Mopwatch, gonna take a lot more. He's stuck. Nope, will dash out of the corpse explosion, but Wards' weapons just doing what he can with those basics.
As very close to full build right now, you're gonna see that Silver Talisman come online. I don't know if that's going to be a Pestilence or not, considering the healing, but we might not even get to see it.
Yeah, I think that this could be the last fight of the game, and it's one of those exciting ones. There's a big gold lead on the side of Legion, but
Words.
it could go either way. Words caught out, and the big baby is going to be forced out early. Enemy with a good initiate onto the solo laner. Pain to be on the target of everyone's ire right now, but he's just so tanky.
Yeah, there was no reason to waste a gravity surge there. Words' weapon trying to chase it down a dirt, or rather flying, going to be able to get out of there. Awesome, too low, but a beautiful Fearless. Unfortunately for him, Cobra's Kiss going to miss. He's still alive.
Pushes the enemy into the wall. Is it enough? Not quite. Words' weapons will get the kill onto Awesome to the Max.
I love watching him play.
Dodges perfectly. Unfortunately, it's just how many seconds can I get the enemy team?
Yeah, I mean, it was an exercise in futility there, but it was still great to watch.
It's great to watch. Awesome stuff coming out from Awesome to the Max. And we'll see the Fire Giant picked up for free from Legion. Really nothing that enemy can do.
Fatal taking a hit from the Fire Giant there because of a rather strange reset from a Duro, who also got tagged before that. But with that Fire Giant buff getting taken with a little resistance, this should mean at least one more Phoenix. Now, they have two choices here. Siege the right Phoenix down, and then either go for left to try to win, or siege right Phoenix down, go back, spend all the gold they just earned, and then finish the game from there. Two being obviously much more safe. One could happen right away if they find a few choice picks.
Yeah, it's all dependent on the picks right now. We're going to see Legion go ahead and mount their offense here. Defense by enemy seems to be 3-2. Jerby, again, is going to beads out, use the ultimate to provide payback damage onto the jungler, but he's ticking low. He'll be able to walk right into his well and heal up right there.
Well, they had to spend so much defending Pernicus trying to take down Jerby that they lost the right Phoenix with no contest whatsoever.
Exactly. That's the sort of intelligent aggression that you see a lot from Legion.
They're going to find a huge combo there. Fatal still living, though. Beautiful counter initiate with the Opwash ult, but Awesome gets to the backline. Pernicus just a little bit too quick on the draw from the sky. Not going to find the kill. Mid Phoenix will fall again.
Still damage raining onto this mid lane. Phoenix will die. Legion being the aggressors. Gravity Surge, Feather, Step. There's the blink. Fearless. Power Cleave. Is it enough to kill him? No. Words' weapons. Vamana still tanky. And he throws the umbrella. He gets him through the wall. Awesome.
Actually,
to the death.
He wouldn't have even needed it. Chris Pocket healed him after the fleeting breath had been applied. Chris Pocket effectively killed Awesome to the Max, whether he got out of there or not.
Still look cool.
It would have been cooler if he just blew up for no reason, right?
He threw something through a wall.
Third Phoenix goes down. Trying to find a way in. They're looking to end this. A Duro combat blink to get out of there, trying to keep himself safe. Looking for the corpse throws against the wall here. He's got 3 to pick up. That's a lot of health.
DJ Pernicus forced out. He's about halfway dead right now. Flyer not doing what he can, but there's not much. And the fire mains are going to leak into the base as enemy pushes out Legion on the left-hand side.
They're trying to fight forward. Chris Pocket by himself. If they notice this, he is...
They don't. They're all turned around. They can't... Remember, folks, third-person game. You can't see behind you.
Right, but... They get all 3 Phoenixes down, and they have a minute 50 with Fire Giant right now, which will be more than enough time for them to regroup and end this game. Even rushing this down, Circle of Protection would have to be straight up the best Circle of Protection of all time to keep this locked down. And with Jerby only being level 18, I don't know that he's got the damage.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough coming out from enemy, but Legion, with this back, as you said, it's a safer way to go. They have provided sort of an outlet for enemy one more time. They get one more fight to see if they can play the defense well enough to go ahead and stop it.
We're checking out Vidium here. Just doing his best to keep himself in the game, trying to get what little farm he can. The calm before the storm applies here as it starts to rain in the enemy jungle. DJ Pernicus grabbing the Magi's off and keeping his own.
Big presence in this right side from Legion. We saw a member of enemy sort of think about coming out when he saw 5 red jerseys, immediately turns around, really forced back into his own base. And this is where enemy has to have the fight. They need to fight this 6-on-5.
Moving forward. They have the opportunity here. The blink goes through. Not going to be enough. No, going to find a few. That's the Opwash ult that should end the game. They can't fight inside of it. Only Awesome to the Max has the control. Titan taking a lot of damage. And with that, Legion of Carrots answers enemy's first win back. dominantly.
Yeah, so congratulations to Enemy for